There is a power inside you, quiet, unwavering, and eternal. It does not shout, it does not demand, yet it waits patiently for you to awaken it. Today, we will uncover the laws that govern this inner strength, the timeless truths that the Stoics lived by, and the courage you've carried all along, but perhaps never noticed. This is not about fleeting victories or hollow applause. This is about a power that shapes your mind, steadies your heart, and lifts your spirit above fear, doubt, and chaos. This is the journey of knowing that the strongest life you can live begins within you. There is a power within you, a force that no storm can shake and no voice can diminish. It is the quiet whisper in the darkness, the steady flame when the winds of life rage around you. The world may offer wealth, titles, or fleeting praise, but these are mere reflections of power, not its source. True strength is born in the heart that dares to rise each morning, in the mind that chooses courage over fear, and in the soul that refuses to bow to circumstance. You have carried this power all along, tucked quietly within the chambers of your being, waiting only for your recognition. It does not announce itself with fanfare, nor does it demand acknowledgement. It thrives in stillness, in the moments when you refuse to surrender to doubt, when you meet challenge with patience, and when you honor your own worth without seeking the nod of others. This strength is not loud, it is deliberate. It does not rush to prove itself, yet it shapes your world in ways both visible and invisible. It teaches you that mastery of self is far greater than mastery over anything else. It tells you that you are more than the sum of your mistakes, more than the limits imposed upon you, and far beyond the fears you clutch in silence. When life presses its weight upon your shoulders, when the days feel long and the nights feel empty, this inner power is your sanctuary. It is the hand that lifts you when the world refuses to, the voice that reminds you of your own resilience when all else seems lost. No external event can take it from you unless you allow it. And in this knowledge lies freedom, the freedom to walk through trials with dignity, the freedom to speak truth without hesitation, and the freedom to create a life that is not dictated by circumstance but shaped by your own unwavering will. You may have looked outside yourself for answers, for guidance, for validation, but the world is merely a mirror, reflecting what is already within. Your strength is not borrowed, it is earned through awareness, through the practice of standing firm even when no one watches. It grows when you choose integrity over convenience, courage over comfort, and hope over despair. Each act of self-respect, each choice aligned with your values, each moment you refuse to be diminished, these are the bricks that build the fortress of your inner power. So, listen closely. The power you seek, the confidence you envy in others, the peace you long for in chaos, they are not distant ideals. They are alive inside you now. They are the quiet command of your own spirit, urging you to rise, to act, and to live fully. When you recognize this truth, you no longer wait for the world to grant you strength. You step into it. You become unshakable, not because life has been easy, but because you have discovered that true strength is not in what is given. It has always been in what you quietly command inside yourself. Your emotions are not enemies, nor are they chains meant to bind you. They are messengers, delicate and fierce, carrying truths about your inner world. Yet, if left unchecked, they can sway you, cloud your judgment, and steal the peace that is your birthright. To master your life, you must first master the tides of your heart, the storms of your mind. There is no shame in feeling, no weakness in sorrow, no disgrace in anger. These are the colors of your humanity. But when you allow them to dictate your actions, to whisper lies of limitation and fear, you surrender the reins of your own journey. Mastery of emotions is not suppression. It is not pretending that pain does not exist, nor is it wearing a mask of constant joy. It is recognition. It is the courage to face the turmoil within, to name it, to understand it, and then to choose your response rather than being chosen by it. When the heart quivers in fear, acknowledge it. When anger rises like a tempest, let it speak, then let it pass. When sadness presses down, sit with it, but do not let it decide your worth or your destiny. In this practice, you learn that emotions are teachers, not rulers, and that your power lies in discerning which to honor and which to release. Consider how often the world tempts you to react, to lash out, to mirror chaos with chaos. How often you have given away your peace for a momentary victory or a fleeting satisfaction. Each time you yield to the impulses of the mind untamed, you lose a piece of the calm that is rightfully yours. But when you pause, when you breathe, when you let your reason and your heart converse before you act, you step into a new realm of freedom. In this space, anger can be transformed into clarity, fear into preparation, sadness into empathy. Mastery of emotions turns the rawness of life into the richness of wisdom. The mind and the heart are allies when trained. Discipline is not cruel, it is compassionate. It is a shield that protects you from being a servant to fleeting moods, a compass that guides you when the world spins uncontrollably. Each decision made with awareness, each response chosen with intention, each storm weathered with grace, these are the victories that no one can see but that shape your character deeply. You will find that the more you master your inner currents, the less the outer world can disturb you, and the more you carry a light that steadies others as well as yourself. So do not fear your emotions, nor let them control you. Honor them, understand them, and then rise above them with the quiet strength of one who knows that the kingdom of the soul is ruled not by reaction, but by wisdom, patience, and choice. When you master your heart and mind, the world no longer sways you, for you are anchored in a power that is unshakable, unyielding, and eternally yours. In that mastery, you discover a freedom so profound that nothing outside can ever take it away, and in that freedom, you become the author of your own life, the steady hand in the chaos, the calm eye in the storm. There is a voice inside you that asks for meaning, that whispers of a path only you can walk. Too often, the world calls louder, offering applause, recognition, and fleeting praise. It tempts you with the illusion of value measured by the approval of others. Yet the applause is hollow, the recognition temporary, and the praise like dust slipping through your fingers. True fulfillment does not come from being seen, but from being true. It comes from honoring the compass within, the quiet sense of what is right, just, and necessary. When you align with purpose, you need no audience. When you chase approval, you give away the power that has always been yours. To follow your purpose is to choose depth over shine, to value substance over surface. It asks of you courage, the courage to walk paths that may seem lonely, the courage to make choices unseen, uncelebrated, but deeply transformative. The world may question you, doubt you, even mock the choices that spring from your inner truth. But the life that is built on meaning, not applause, is the life that endures. It shapes character, it molds resilience, it inspires without the need for spectacle. Purpose is the flame that lights your way when the crowd is silent, when the cheers fade, and when the world offers no reassurance. There is freedom in knowing that your value is not determined by likes, comments, or praise, but by your commitment to what you know to be right. To live for popularity is to live tethered to the ever-changing moods of others, to be at the mercy of applause that comes and goes. To live with purpose is to be anchored, unshakable, and unwavering in the face of opinion, rumor, or judgment. It is to choose integrity over trend, virtue over convenience, and meaning over the fleeting allure of being admired. Purpose gives your life direction. Popularity gives only illusion. Purpose demands reflection, introspection, and sometimes solitude. For it is in the quiet moments that your true path is revealed. The world will always offer distractions, voices vying for your attention, urging you to perform, to please, to conform. But your compass is steadfast, your decisions guided by principle, by conscience, by the truth you carry within, will lead you to a life that resonates, a life that matters, a life that leaves a legacy beyond applause. So listen to that inner voice, the one that calls for courage, that reminds you of the difference between fleeting admiration and enduring meaning. Walk your path, even if it is lonely. Speak your truth, even if it is misunderstood. Make choices that honor the depths of your soul, not the eyes of the crowd. For in choosing purpose over popularity, you reclaim the power that is yours by birthright, the power to live authentically, to rise with dignity, and to leave the world better for having stood by the truth of who you are. The applause may come, or it may not, but the life you build will speak volumes, and your soul will know it has been lived rightly. Life is relentless, and it does not announce its trials before they arrive. The storms come, the nights grow long, and the weight of loss or failure may press upon your shoulders with a force that feels unbearable. Yet adversity is not sent to destroy you. It is sent to reveal the strength you have carried quietly all along. The moments that seem unbearable, the challenges that feel impossible, are the crucibles in which your courage is tested and refined. It is in facing what shakes you to your core that you discover the power to stand unbroken, to rise when falling seems inevitable, and to carry forward with dignity when surrender tempts you most. Resilience is not the absence of pain or struggle. It is not the claim that life will bend to your desires. It is the steady refusal to be defeated by circumstance, the unwavering resolve to keep walking even when the path is unclear. When the world feels harsh and unforgiving, resilience is the quiet voice that says, "I will not be undone. I will rise again." It is a choice, moment by moment, to face each trial with the knowledge that you are more than what happens to you. Each setback is not a signal of failure, but an invitation to deepen your courage, to stretch the boundaries of your endurance, and to prove to yourself that your spirit is stronger than any force outside yourself. There will be days when the pain is sharp, when the fear is loud, when doubt presses down like a weight you cannot lift. These are the days that carve the shape of your character, that teach you what you are made of. Do not run from them. Do not pretend they do not exist. Lean into the lessons they offer. The heartbreak, the disappointment, the obstacles, they are not punishments. They are mirrors reflecting your capacity to endure, adapt, and grow. In the ashes of struggle, you will find wisdom. In the depths of challenge, you will find courage. In the silence after loss, you will hear the unyielding voice of your own resilience calling you to rise. Resilience is also patience. It is the understanding that the storms do not last forever, that healing is a process, and that growth often comes quietly, in small, almost imperceptible steps. It is not measured by speed or by accolades, but by the steadiness with which you hold your ground, the way you keep moving forward, and the compassion you offer yourself along the way. Every trial faced, every fear confronted, every moment of despair endured without surrender becomes a testament to the power of your inner strength. So when life tests you, do not see it as a punishment, but as a revelation. It asks of you not perfection, but persistence, not the absence of struggle, but the courage to rise despite it. And in this rising, in this continual choosing to move forward when everything seems lost, you uncover a truth so profound that nothing outside of you can ever diminish it. Your spirit is unbreakable, your courage undeniable, and your resilience eternal. You are stronger than your circumstances, wiser than your doubts, and more capable than you have ever imagined. Life is a tapestry woven with threads of joy, pain, triumph, and loss. Each experience carries its own weight, and yet it is not the event itself, but the way you see it that shapes your strength, your peace, and your understanding. The storms may rage, the heartbreak may sting, and the disappointments may seem endless, but within each moment lies a lesson waiting to be discovered. Perspective is the lens through which you transform hardship into wisdom, sorrow into insight, and fleeting moments into timeless truths. It is the quiet art of seeing the meaning beneath the chaos and the value beneath the struggle. Pain is often the teacher that comes unannounced. It arrives without warning, shakes the ground beneath you, and asks you to confront parts of yourself that you might otherwise ignore. And yet, if you pause long enough to see it clearly, pain is not your enemy. It is the mirror reflecting your resilience, the call to awaken a deeper understanding of life's fragility and strength. Loss, too, carries this secret gift. When something or someone departs, the void is not merely emptiness. It is space for reflection, for growth, for recognizing the things that truly matter. Perspective turns absence into awareness, sorrow into clarity, and endings into beginnings you may not yet see. Joy, too, is a teacher. It is not only the laughter shared or the successes celebrated, but the quiet moments of gratitude, the subtle recognition of beauty in the ordinary. When you learn to view life through this lens, joy is multiplied, and the hardships are softened by the memory of what nourishes your spirit. The gift of perspective allows you to hold both pain and joy in your hands without being controlled by either. It gives you balance, the understanding that life is not meant to be only light or only darkness, but a symphony of both, each note necessary, each pause meaningful. Perspective also asks for patience. It is the ability to step back, to see the long arc of your own story, and to understand that what feels unbearable today may be the foundation for the strength you need tomorrow. When you adopt this view, mistakes are no longer failures, challenges no longer prisons, and setbacks no longer permanent. You begin to see life as a teacher, not a tormentor, and your experiences as guides, not punishments. In this way, you grow wiser, calmer, and more certain of your capacity to endure and to thrive. So, open your heart to the lessons embedded in every encounter. Let the bitterness of disappointment teach you patience, the sting of loss teach you gratitude, and the fleeting moments of happiness teach you to cherish what is present. The gift of perspective transforms your inner world. It allows you to live fully, respond thoughtfully, and navigate life with a clarity that is unshaken by chaos. In this way, every experience, whether harsh or gentle, becomes a stepping stone, and your life becomes a journey not only of survival, but of profound understanding, strength, and grace. There is a quiet strength in knowing that your worth is not measured by the eyes of others. The world will always have opinions, always have judgments, always have expectations. It will applaud some of your choices and criticize others. It will celebrate what it understands and overlook what it does not. But true peace, the kind that cannot be shaken by circumstance or applause, is not borrowed from the approval of others. It is owned, nurtured, and cultivated within yourself. When you release the need for validation, you step into a freedom so profound that no voice outside can diminish it. Detachment from approval does not mean arrogance or indifference. It does not mean that you stop caring for others or that you reject kindness. It means that your decisions, your joy, and your sense of self are rooted in truth, not in the fluctuating tides of opinion. Too often, people live as shadows of expectation, bending and twisting themselves to fit the mold others create. They sacrifice their voice, their vision, and their courage in pursuit of fleeting praise. But the soul that is anchored in its own integrity needs no mirror to confirm its value. The eyes that truly matter are your own, and the measure of your life is the fidelity with which you honor them. When you seek validation outside yourself, you surrender your power to forces beyond your control. Every compliment becomes a tether, every criticism a threat, and every judgment a storm that can shake your inner balance. But when you turn inward, when you look to your own compass for guidance, you discover a steadiness that cannot be disturbed. Detachment is the art of observing the world without being ruled by it, of listening without needing to be heard, and of acting without the urgent need for recognition. In this space, your confidence is born not from applause, but from alignment with your own principles and the quiet satisfaction of living authentically. It is not an easy path, for the world is loud and persistent. It will tempt you to bend, to please, to seek its fleeting approval. It will show you the faces of those who thrive on judgment and comparison. Yet every time you choose to act in accordance with your own truth, every time you resist the pull of outside validation, you reclaim a part of yourself that had been given away. You learn to trust your own judgment, to honor your own voice, and to live in a way that is consistent with your values. The freedom found in detachment is profound. When you no longer depend on others to confirm your worth, life becomes a canvas for your authenticity. You make choices that nourish your spirit rather than impress the crowd. You speak with courage, act with intention, and walk with grace. Your peace is no longer fragile, dependent on shifting opinions, but enduring, cultivated, and deeply rooted. In owning your own approval, you discover a strength that is unshakable, a calm that is untouchable, and a life lived fully, freely, and honestly, guided not by the eyes of the world, but by the light within your own heart. There is a space between thought and action, a quiet chasm where dreams linger and courage waits. Many spend their lives wandering in that space, admiring visions of who they might become, yet never stepping forward to claim it. True power is not in knowing what is right, it is in having the courage to live it. To act is to honor the wisdom you carry, to give voice to the truth in your heart, and to transform your convictions into reality. It is in this bridge between thought and action that your inner strength is revealed, that your character is forged, and that your life becomes a testament to the values you hold sacred. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is the recognition of fear, the acknowledgement of risk, and the deliberate choice to move forward despite uncertainty. Every meaningful life is built on this courage, the courage to speak when silence is easier, to stand when the crowd bends, and to choose integrity when compromise is convenient. Action aligned with virtue is not always celebrated, and it is not always understood. It may bring criticism, doubt, or rejection. Yet the voice of your conscience, steady and unyielding, reminds you that what matters most is not the comfort of approval, but the truth of your own path. To hesitate is human, to doubt is natural. Yet in hesitation, life slips by, and opportunity, fleeting as it is lost. Courage demands that you step forward even when the path is uncertain, even when the outcome is unseen. It demands that you embrace responsibility, own your choices, and face the consequences of living according to your highest principles. Every action, no matter how small, becomes a declaration of strength, a proof of character, and a demonstration that your inner power is not theoretical, but living, breathing, and unshakable. When you act with courage, you inspire not only yourself, but those around you. You illuminate the path for others who tremble in their own hesitation. You show that fear can coexist with determination, and you teach that integrity is not idle, but active. Action aligned with virtue transforms the abstract ideals of wisdom, patience, and honor into tangible influence. It turns knowledge into change, reflection into momentum, and intention into legacy. The more you step into this courage, the more the world shifts around you, not because life bends to your will, but because your presence, unwavering and principled, carries a power that cannot be ignored. Remember, courage is not reckless, it is mindful, it is deliberate, it is the choice to act with awareness, to weigh consequences, and yet to follow the truth you know within. When you summon this courage, every decision becomes meaningful, every challenge becomes an opportunity, and every moment becomes a chance to live fully in alignment with your highest self. Your inner power, revealed through action, is eternal. It does not fade with circumstance. It does not diminish with fear, and it does not rely on recognition. It lives in every step you take toward the life you are meant to lead, a life of integrity, strength, and unwavering courage. The life you live quietly, the choices you make when no one is watching, the strength you nurture in the unseen corners of your mind and heart. These are the foundations of a legacy that lasts far beyond the applause of the moment. True power is not measured in wealth, titles, or recognition. It is measured in the depth of character, the courage to rise each day with integrity, and the ability to remain steadfast when the world is in chaos. The strength you build within yourself becomes a light, a beacon that touches others, not because you seek to impress, but because your example silently inspires. Legacy is not created in grand gestures alone. It is formed in the quiet, consistent acts of courage, kindness, and wisdom. It is in the decisions made with conscience rather than convenience, in the patience shown when frustration tempts you to anger, in the compassion offered when the world rewards selfishness. Every time you honor your values, every time you choose truth over ease, every time you rise after a fall, you add a brick to a foundation that others will one day see, feel, and follow. Your strength becomes contagious, not through words, but through presence, through the way you carry yourself, and through the unshakable example of a life lived fully and rightly. Think of the people you admire most in your life. It is rarely their wealth, their fame, or their accomplishments alone that leave a lasting imprint. It is their consistency, their courage, and the integrity that guided their choices even when no one was watching. They lived in a way that created a reflection of strength for others to see, a mirror of possibility that says, if they can stand tall through storms, so can I. Your own legacy works the same way. Every decision rooted in virtue, every act born of honesty and courage, every quiet resilience you demonstrate becomes a thread woven into the fabric of those who follow, whether they know it or not. Building a legacy is not a race, nor a performance for recognition. It is a lifelong cultivation of inner strength, of discipline, of thoughtfulness, and of empathy. It asks for reflection, for patience, for the courage to confront your flaws and grow beyond them. It is the acknowledgement that the power you hold is not just for yourself, but for the countless lives you touch through your example, for the whispers of encouragement and hope that ripple outward from the strength you nurture within. When you focus on building strength internally, you discover a profound truth. The impact of a well-lived life cannot be taken away, diminished, or forgotten. Even in silence, even in the absence of praise, your choices echo. They inspire courage, integrity, and resilience in ways you may never witness. Your life becomes a light, not a glare meant to blind, but a steady illumination guiding others through the darkness. And in that light, the world is transformed, not by force, but by the enduring strength you carried quietly within. A strength that becomes eternal through the lives you touch, the hearts you lift, and the example you leave behind.